on, guys? Enlisted Ghost coming back with another video. This time it's about basic training, more so 11 Bravo Infantry. You know how we rocking. But I'm gonna get into this. This video is gonna be about two phases: the basic training phase, 10 weeks, and then the infantry phase, which is 4 weeks. Now, a lot of you all that are not infantry, you can still take notes from this because any basic training you go to is gonna be similar, somewhere fashion. Sorry about me being off sweating. I just got done doing a basketball workout. I gotta stay in the gym. I'm actually about to go lift. But I hope y'all enjoy this video. Let's get it. Okay, so what we're all here to talk about, or find out, whatever. Basic training, AIT. Like earlier, a lot of you all probably won't really relate to the AIT portion of this because it's more focused on infantry, but I mean, you still can learn some things. You're still probably gonna go over things in regards to this field anyway. So basic training. Basic training is essentially 10 weeks long, and you go through 3 phases. The 3 phases are red, white, blue phase. Well, that's what it was when I went through. I don't know if it has changed or whatnot since I've been in, well, since I've been in basic training, but that's what it is. And the 3 phases are, they're meant to mold you or help mold you into becoming a soldier, a basic soldier. And it's also to build you into the next phase. You know, it's the red phase is the crawling phase. Blue phase, or is it white or blue? I don't remember the order, but the second phase is the walking phase, and then the third phase is the running phase. And the third phase is where you actually get into your FTX, your field training exercises, or your stick lanes, and you start putting a lot of what you learned the first 9 weeks or 8 weeks into effect before you go into your MOS qualification. The red phase, drill sergeants act like they hate you. They want to rip out your guts, yelling, cursing, whatever. It's gonna make your first 3 weeks miserable. Well, for some people, unless you can handle it, but essentially it's gonna be miserable. I would say go into it with a positive mindset, be optimistic. The male thing is one thing that's very, very important. It was important to me. It was important to a lot of the soldiers there. Male is like one key thing to survive on there. Granted, it's not the worst thing you can experience in life, but it was definitely a morale booster. So if you have someone to write to or whatever, I definitely suggest doing that and send out as many different letters as you can. It definitely helps. Back on the red phase. Male, drill sergeant hates you. A lot of physical fitness and conditioning. I would advise that you all go into this already physically fit, because once you step in there, you get off that bus and you're at your barracks, it's at that point, to me, it's too late. It's too late for you to be trying to, oh, I'm gonna get in shape, or oh, I need to. No, you should have already did that. Your recruiter should have been told you that you need to get fit now, unless you went to sign up yesterday and then you're in basic training like 2 days later. But even then, you knew you were going into the Army, so you should have prepped. There's a lot of things you can find on Google that would have properly prepped you for this, so you should have did it. Physical fitness is definitely a big thing. During the week, your training is gonna revolve around not the field training or the classroom training, but the physical fitness aspect. It will revolve around, I would say 3 or 4 things. One thing is your sprint or short sprinting workouts, your core back, upper body and arm workouts, you know, for your push-ups, sit-ups, for the APFT, and your long distance running. Oh, also rucking. All those things I just named is basically what you're gonna cover every week, or you're gonna train on it somehow, some way every week. For me, we rucked once a week. So I'm just gonna assume you do that at every basic training place that you go to. I don't know if it's an infantry thing or what, but I'm assuming you ruck once a week. So you got your short sprints one day, you ruck another day or the next day, then you go into your core, your push-up stuff the day after that, then you got your long distance running day. And they build you up from 2 miles and get you all the way up to either 4 or 5 miles. And then by that time, your 2 mile should be spot on. You should be good. If you're barely passing by this point, there's something really wrong. You need to either change up what you're eating in a DFAC, or I don't know, go get motivated somehow, some way. Send a letter or whatever you got to do. The second phase, after, the first phase is pretty basic. It's just, teaching you Army history, core values, Army values, teaching you the basic bare minimums, so to speak. And then you carry that into the second phase. And in the second phase, it's more of like a sigh of relief a little bit, because, the drill sergeants, they start to ease up a little bit. You may get a little privilege or something. You may get like a phone call or something during this phase. I don't know. I'm not entirely too sure how it works. Excuse me, my dog in the back. Oh my gosh. But you may get phone calls or something. I don't know. Once again, the phone call is definitely a morale booster. Everybody's experience is different. I talked to people that was at basic, and they said they got their phone every Sunday, or I don't know. It was weird, because for me, that didn't happen to me. I barely saw my phone. I probably got my phone maybe twice or maybe 3 times, including the last day at graduation. So I didn't really see my phone that much. Second phase, like I said, it's a relief. Yeah, the drill sergeants, they chill out a little bit. They're still on you, on edge, so to speak, but they feel like they molded you up until this point so they can kind of relax. There's a method to the madness. There's a reason that they're doing this. You just gotta go with the flow and just suck it up. One moment. So your second phase, you're still gonna be focusing on the physical fitness. That intensity is gonna rise, and so at this point, your APFT score should rise too. Outside of physical fitness, you should be focusing on your marksmanship. This is when you start going into a lot of the fundamentals. I'm not gonna try to break down every little detail of basic training and what to expect, to the T. I'm not doing that. I'm just giving you just some little basic knowledge so you can know what you're kind of going into. Once again, you can find a lot of this stuff on Google. Quick little rundown. You're gonna focus on your basic rifle marksmanship. I don't know if this is when you go through the naked night course. It may be the third phase, but the naked night course is where where we were. It was like a live fire M240 Bravos and like 3 or 4 towers. It's like right here, and it's a long field with barbed wire. You got to low crawl through it. Probably like 100 to 200 meters long. I'm not entirely too sure. And at this end where you start, you're like in a trench, and you can't like peek up. You actually got to climb up there to get over it. So there's no like, oh, let me see what I'm getting myself into. No, you can't see until you climb up there. So this end, you're in the trench. Once the gunfire starts, you gotta go. The drill sergeant's gonna start yelling at you, And it was kind of funny because when I went through it, we kind of all like froze up, because we knew what was gonna happen, but we froze up, and it was like, okay, who's gonna go first? But we eventually got up there and did it. And a lot of people, if you're talking about it that has went through this, they'll say that it's fake, it's not real ammo. That's BS, because when I went through, I saw the tracer rounds going over my head. So I'm not trying to hear anything that anybody's trying to tell me. You see what I'm saying? So scratch all that. Unless that's what they're doing now, I don't know. But when I went through, they were shooting live ammunition, 7.62 NATO rounds with what is it called? The not the incendiary, the tracer rounds I just spoke on, duh. But you'll see it at night, because it's gonna be at nighttime and they're gonna be shooting it over your head. More likely it's gonna be at nighttime. Hopefully it's not raining or muddy, and that's just gonna suck. But yeah, you just get out the trench, crawl through, low crawl, all that, get to the end, then you're done. Before I go into any other phase, I need to cover reception. I totally forgot about it because it's a very important process before you can even go and begin training. So just to cover that quickly, before you go to your barracks and you meet your drill sergeant, you go to reception. So you go to the airport, you get off the plane, the bus comes pick you up, take you to reception. It's really nothing to worry about. It's pretty chill, laid back. You're probably gonna be there for like 1-2 weeks. A lot of people say, oh, you're there for 4 days. No, if you're in the infantry, you're gonna probably be there for 2 weeks.
I don't know why. I was there for 2 weeks and I hated it. It didn't make any sense because the schedule is made for 4 or 5 day processing. But I was there for 2 weeks. It sucked. But if you're there for a week, that's awesome. But essentially what happens at reception is you get there, you get your uniforms, you take your medical exams, they draw blood, issue your IDs, your ID, dog tags, find out about the allergies, so you get allergy tags. There's no PT. There shouldn't be any PT. You might do it, but if I'm not mistaken, they shouldn't be doing that. So there's really like no training. You got to clean up, shave, all that stuff, go to formation, get accountability, go eat chow to defect 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. The lines are very long. You're going to be in some lines, standing outside at parade rest for some while. Long days, very long days. You may be tired. The first day you do get there, I believe you're up for a day or 24 hours or probably longer than that, something like that. But just try to be motivated and get through it, because once you start training, the game is on. It's game time. Going back onto the first phase of training, which is the red phase, you also go through the gas chamber. And a lot of people are probably, scared of it, researched it, like, oh my gosh, I'm worried, I'm not gonna, survive in it. It's nothing too bad. It's nothing you can't handle. Everyone gets through it. What I will say is to try to stay calm when you do it and just listen to everything your drill sergeant say, and then you'll be fine. Everyone's experience is gonna be different. I'm not gonna say you're gonna come out fine, breathing okay and all that, but you may be the one gagging, throwing up, snot coming out your nose, talking about you can't breathe. You may be one of those people, but it's nothing to worry about. You will live, you will survive. It's okay. It's a good experience. It shows you that your equipment does work and you can have faith in, the stuff that the Army issues you. Another thing in red phase is you go through your courses. And when I say courses, I don't mean your courses in a classroom, but courses like land navigation courses, your IED courses. Well, IED courses, it will start off in a classroom essentially, but you'll go to a field environment thing and also do that. But your rappelling course, confidence course, all that. The obstacle course, those sort of things. The rappelling, confidence, and obstacle course. Those are pretty fun, especially if they make it competitive and they do like platoon versus platoon, squad versus squad, something like that. That's just pretty cool. I think it's a lot better when it's a wet environment for the obstacle course because you get muddy, dirty. I don't know. I just think it's a lot better that way. We all want to be nice, warm, and dry, but I think it would be a great experience if everyone got to go through the obstacle course and got a little wet and muddy. It wouldn't hurt. Okay, so going back to the second phase. The last thing I mentioned on the second phase, which is the white phase, is naked night. And like I said before, I don't remember if that is during second phase or if it's during the third phase, but I know that during this training, you're going to start learning or putting into effect your tactical foot marches, your basic rifle marksmanship, which I already mentioned earlier, engagement skills. And what I mean, engagement skills is what to do if you are attacked, or the proper procedures on how to engage a target. Not necessarily getting shot at, but what to do, the first instinct, what is there to do when you first take contact, the basics of that, and then they evolve that and then and build upon that. But like I said, you get more in depth in third phase, and also you should be mastering it in your AIT depending on your MOS. Like infantry, you're gonna master it. You're gonna sleep, eat, breathe that every day, all day. That's it. The blue phase. This is the phase where your drill sergeants, they pretty much take a couple steps back and just be like, okay, you all know what to do. You know what is expected of you. Don't mess up, or it's going to be a major consequence. You might, one of the consequences could be going back to red phase, because at this point in time, you all know the standard. You have maintained the standard. That's why you've moved along or graduated, so to speak, to the blue phase of basic training. In the blue phase, you will cover your weapons. This is probably one of the best phases during basic training. It just depends on the type of person that you are, because this is when you get to shoot a multitude of, different things that the Army can provide for you. If you ever have to use it overseas. And some of those weapons are the 50 cal machine gun, hand grenades, obviously your M4 or M16, the AT4 rocket launcher. If they're still using that model or whatever, I don't know if they made a new one or upgraded, I'm not too sure, but the AT4 rocket launcher, you're gonna shoot that. Well, it's probably gonna be 1 or 2 people that actually shoot the rocket itself, but everyone will be properly trained on how to use it and utilize it. The M249 and the M240 Bravo. The M240 Bravo is bad. It's not as bad as the 50 cal, but being a weapon that you can carry on foot is a pretty bad. I like it. I don't want to carry it and use it, but if I have to, that would be my go-to weapon. That is a bad gun. Machine gun. Mark 19 grenade launcher. You should be shooting that, and can't even speak. M320 or M203 grenade launcher. You should also be using some form of a grenade launcher that's attached to your M4 or M16. The last thing in the blue phase that you do is your field training exercise, which should be a week or 2, where you put all your training from day 1 of basic training to the last couple of weeks or that last week, and you just implement it through tasks and tests and things like that you have to be graded on to pass, to complete, to go onto your AIT phase. You will do your last little ruck march. It probably will be 10, 12, and 15 miles. Mine was 12 before I went to AIT. Well, actually, when I got to AIT, we were told that it was actually 13 miles, but we were under the impression it was 12 miles, so whatever. Some people may fall out, some people may not make it, but you just gotta have that mindset that you're not gonna fail. And I'm not trying to be corny or give you some false motivation. Like I'm so serious. Like if you don't properly hydrate, you're gonna be sucking. If you're not eating, you're gonna be sucking. If you're not, resting when you have downtime, you're gonna be sucking. So you got to be mentally prepared to go through with the ruck marches and the field training exercises. Okay, moving forward. Now you graduated basic training. It's time to get into AIT, Infantry AIT. Like I said earlier, this video is predominantly on infantry, so everybody else's experience may vary. You just, you can stop the video now, or you can continue watching and take notes and see what you can learn about it. A lot of people say that, Infantry AIT is just advanced basic training. I don't believe that, not at all, based off my experiences, and that just sounds dumb. It really does, because the things that you do in AIT it is more advanced in basic training, but you do more than what you have already learned in basic training. And a lot of people don't understand that. They try to downplay it, like, because the infantry, you don't have to score that high to be in infantry. Soldiers that are in the infantry are dumb. No, that's not true. You see what I'm saying? So it's not true at all. I know I know a lot of people that I went to college with that graduated bachelor's degrees, 4-year university, that chose infantry. So you're telling me, this 19-year-old, they chose infantry and they're dumb? No, they chose infantry because that's the job that they wanted to have in the military. Just like everybody has the option to be a MP or a cook or a truck driver. It doesn't matter. Don't hate. There's no point in hating. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Back to where we came here to learn about. In their Infantry AIT, which should be the most fun for you, is essentially like blue phase. You're pretty chill, laid back. Sergeants are gonna be there. You're just there to help you be a subject matter expert in your field. This is where you're gonna make your money. This is where you're gonna make your pay. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna cover reconnaissance, how to recon areas, enemy positions, stuff like that. You're gonna learn how to write and do op words, which is called operational orders. You're gonna learn how to do, well, not do, but build, fighting positions, how to maintain a fighting position, how to make it better than what it was before. And you're also, which is actually pretty cool, and I love this part of my AIT. We did our field training exercise, and we went to like 3 different places, and we rucked everywhere. It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna try to spoil it for a lot of you. I think you all will have fun if you're going to Infantry AIT. I think you will enjoy it. Depending on where you go, you may get your phones once a week. When you get there, you might not get your phones at all. It just depends on what company you're with or in what battalion, your training battalion, training company, and their, rules and procedures. It really depends because everybody was different. I got a lot of friends that went and had AIT somewhere else, not where I did, and they had different experience than me. They got their phones probably once a week. I got my phone, what I say earlier, like 2-3 times out of the duration of since I was training. Exactly. So it just all depends. That's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this short informative video about basic training and AIT, Infantry AIT. If you have any other questions or concerns, my inbox is open. Just leave a comment or DM me, however you want to do it, and I'll try to answer everybody's, comments or messages. If you got any ideas or things you want to see in another video or something like you want me to cover, just throw it out there. I might do it. I'll give you props, of course. I don't have an issue with that. Giving credit where credit is due. But like I was saying, I hope you all enjoyed. Till next time, peace.